Big Buddy God did it again. You woke up on the right side of the dirt, so let's give God a praise. This is John Lakin and Friends. What's up, everybody? This is your boy, John Lakin, and welcome to John Lakin and Friends. Good morning and welcome to John Lakin and Friends. We are so excited that you decided to join in with us today and worship, and we're about to lift up a praise that says, I'm learning to become broken in my worship, featuring Laura Johnson.
Broken to do what you request of me. My fear unimportant to the path you created for me. I'm becoming broken. It is not my will. It's your will. I go to my knees. Being broken.
President and CEO of Cobra Construction and Design Incorporated, a general contracting and construction management firm located in the heart of Columbia, South Carolina. Our clients include educational facilities, religious institutions, retail establishments, administrative buildings, and so much more. We specialize in creating beautiful spaces with functionality and community at the heart. As God blesses us, we bless others. Our dream is to make your dream come true. Cobra is the one-stop shop for all of your construction needs.
Good morning. I'm filled with a great deal of excitement and Jesus' joy to be privileged to share with John Lakin and Friends this morning. When making a decision or facing a dilemma, to whom do you listen? Whoever has your ear has your destiny. We make decisions based on the advice we receive from others. If we listen to the wrong person, we'll be given the wrong advice. If given the wrong advice, we will make the wrong decision. When we make the wrong decision, we end up at a place where God never intended for us to reside. Solomon says in the 3rd chapter of Proverbs, verses 5 and 6, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Let our awesome God be your primary consultant. When you consult with God first, then you are enabled a wisdom that comes from who he is and divine guidance, not only in making decisions, but in actions that are taken. Consult God. Let God your leader be. May the Lord bless you, one and all. This has been Charles Bless Jackson Sr., Senior Pastor of the Brookland Baptist Church, West Columbia, South Carolina.
Welcome back to John Lakin and Friends. It is my joy to have my big brother on the set with us today, Bishop Aaron. Bishop, my God. Bishop, you the man.
My brother.
Listen,
John.
First off, let's get right to it because our time is limited. Let's talk. How important is it for us to get out and vote right now? Just please touch the hearts of the people, talk to the people, and implore them to get out and do the right thing on Tuesday.
Well, we know elections matter, right?
Yes, sir.
And most of all, local elections matter, John.
Come on.
And when we look at everything from the top of the ballot to the lower part of the ballot, or the low ballot, which is the school board, it's critical in nature.
Wow.
And when I say critical, it's so critical that we understand education is the foundation of our society. And it's no mistake that God has allowed the lower ballot to be the Board of Education for Richmond School District 1 and beyond.
Come on.
And what we can't not do is just pull a lever for partisan base or Republicans or Democrat. We got to go all the way down to the basement, the bottom, the foundation, which is education, and pick our next school board leaders.
Come on.
Because when you look at the foundation, it's often ignored in the home, but it's what holds the whole home.
It's the truth. Yeah, the foundation is the most important part of holding the building up, especially during storms. Now, we know that we've seen some turbulence in this last few seasons, but I believe that you've been greatly prepared for correcting the ship and moving things in the right direction continually. So how do you believe this last term prepared you to be able to serve in a greater capacity with this upcoming term?
You know, John, it's funny that you mentioned storms. We lived through the 1,000-year flood.
Yes, sir.
We also survived.
Come on.
The storm of COVID.
Come on.
And these storms have tried to wipe us out, and we had to literally operate in crisis management while still making sure Richland 1 shines.
Yes, sir.
Even beyond the COVID and even beyond the 1,000-year flood, we've always kept child development or the learning enterprise of Richland 1 our priority.
Come on.
And so my platform has always been the same.
Yes, sir.
It's been to preserve the classroom while protecting the students.
Come on.
And that's what we're going to do. And when I say protect the students, that also means protecting the learning experience that includes staff,
Yes, sir.
teachers, administrators, to make sure every resource goes into the classroom. Every opportunity comes to Richland 1.
Yes,
and
sir.
you need a person who's going to fight for that.
That's
and
true.
fight for equity. And equity means not just equality, but it means everyone.
Now, that's really the truth because there are some people who are in a position of advantage out of the gate. And then we have a lot of our districts that have, you know, they're battling extreme poverty. They're battling different community situations that causes getting an education in and of itself to be a fight. So what would you say to the parents out there who are wanting to keep their children encouraged to graduate and to finish school, but realize that they're in a struggle of their own?
Well, let me tell you, we're all in this struggle together. We are living this journey of life together.
Yes, sir.
And what you want is someone who's been in the race, not by title, not by position,
Come on.
but by workmanship.
Yeah.
We have people that are on the ballot
Yes, sir.
who have done the work and
My
continue
God.
to do the work.
Yes, sir.
And we know who that is.
Yes, sir.
We don't think we just need someone who just jumps up and jumps in a race. We need someone who's been a part of this race and experience, who's battled poverty
Come on.
face to face while
Yes.
dealing with the community, who's battled insecurities that are in our community, and also a person, I believe, just operates by faith.
Yes, sir.
And not by sight.
Well, you know, they talk about putting prayer back into school, but let me tell you, I believe that God has his people everywhere.
Yes, he does.
And I also believe that he covers his own. Right before we get out of here, I want you to take a moment to talk about the protection of the students. You know, we've had so much gun violence, so much school shootings that have taken place, and it looks like the enemy and the evil forces have caused so much damage in the school districts. So how do we as a community fight against what the enemy has been trying to do in our schools?
Well, we have to make sure that we live by what we've always heard, that it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes, sir.
You have to ask this question, who's raising the village? And so to raise the village, you're going to need everyone from the politician to the educator,
yes,
to the business leader, but most of all, the faith leader.
Yes.
I can tell you a lot of things that I've done over my legacy and my capacity of leadership.
Yes, sir.
From you know, establishing new facilities for athletes, student athletes. I can tell you about Summer SOAR, making sure last summer it touched every 2 out of 3 students to help us bridge the achievement gap.
Yes.
But what I can tell you really was important to my legacy is we brought in the faith leaders.
Come on.
Because it takes a family to pray together, stay together.
Yes.
We're going to have to take a community to come together
Yes.
to make sure that our schools are safe.
And we know
take the guns off the street.
Yes, sir.
To make sure that our people are being prayed over, but also they're being advised to go get some mental health.
Listen, because I was going to get to that. With the pandemic, our teachers, our students have all dealt with so much trauma. What would you say to someone who is burnt out as a result of the mental battles that they've had to fight every day?
I would say breathe, and communicate,
yes,
and ask for help.
So the last thing I want to touch on is, like you said, this is a family and we have to do it together. So how do we find ways to infuse more love into the dialogue and the communication that we've seen on the board?
Well, let's stop and say, let's get back to what matters to us right now, which is letting our children know that they may be voteless, but they're not voiceless.
Wow,
let's make sure
powerful.
That we vote for our children. Our children are on the ballot. That's the first level of love. I always ask the people, instead of saying hi and bye or hello, how are you doing, ask the question, how are the children? And make sure you always can respond to the health of our community, not just your child, but all of our children, because it's going to take all of us to make a difference.
Let me tell you something. We are voting to get not just, scores tell us a lot, but we're not doing this because of the scores. We're doing this because of the souls of our young people, they're covered and that they are understanding that they are being empowered to be the future. So when we talked about the bottom of the ballot and it being the foundation, the real truth is whoever is on the ballot next is going to be a result of our vote on Tuesday.
That's right, November 8th.
November 8th.
Everybody has to vote.
We're shaping a good future.
Everyone needs to let the vote come in, put the vote in.
Yes, and we're already seeing record numbers, but don't you sit back and think, and I tell people, you can't complain if you didn't do your part.
Listen, this is not a day off.
Listen, let them know.
This is a day on.
It's the truth.
Go to the polls. Take a friend, take a family.
Yes.
Go to the polls.
All right. Everybody, I am here with Pastor Aaron Bishop, my good friend and brother. So proud of all of the work that you've done in the community.
Thank you, John.
And we'll see so much more of what God is doing with you in the near future. There is so much more to come after this on John Lakin and Friends.
Columbia, Irmo, Hopkins, and surrounding areas. It's been over 3 years, but WOW Productions is back with a new hit stage play, The World You Left Behind. They've wowed you before with Confessions of a Good Man and Secrets in Plain Sight. Now they're back with The World You Left Behind, November 11th through 13th at the beautiful Harbison Theater. Get your tickets now because this show will sell out. Visit www.wowproduction.org or call 803-407-5011.
Welcome back to John Lakin and Friends. I am so honored to have some incredibly reliable and great community leaders in the room with me. I'm going to start from one side. I got my brother from Nigeria. There is no other comedian like the Warnock himself, Akintunde Warnock, my good brother, how are you?
I'm good, John. I am not from Nigeria. I'll let you have
He's from Savannah, Georgia. I also have incredible family friend, long time. I mean, I consider him my uncle. He is also a great businessman, and he is our former county councilman, Norman Jackson, here with us. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Nice to be here.
And then we have one of the most premier and profound leaders of our area, an incredible attorney, former military. I know him as the man that also carried and kept the body of JFK. Mr. James Felder, how are you, sir?
John, I'm good. Glad to be with you.
We're honored to have you. Good. And we have the darling of media in our city. She has done some incredible work, and I am super honored to have her on our show. Sister on point, Miss Cynthia Hardy, how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you all for having me, and I'm honored to be among the guests and everything. Thanks.
Yes, yes. So we're going to get right in. Everybody knows we're in an incredible political season right now, and we're having some life-altering decisions that are being made as it relates to voting. So I just want to take a moment and let you all share the importance of the Black vote right now before we even get into the actual issues that we're going to be voting about. Mr. Felder, what's your concerns, or what do you see or observations about this election season?
I just hope we will do a better turnout, John.
Yes.
We got the numbers. We have over 1 million Black registered voters in this state.
Wow.
In 1968, we only had 50,000 Black registered voters and only 8 Black elected officials.
Wow.
And 4 of them were in Eastover.
Hey, that's a great place. That's a great place.
4 were in Eastover and 4 were down in Beaufort. That was it for us.
Wow.
Then we started getting us registered to vote. And
yes,
we started finding candidates to run for office. So that's where we are today in terms of statistics. 1 million Black registered voters.
Yes, sir.
928 Black elected officials.
Incredible.
If we can get the Black elected officials to do more pushing for turnout, we can do better. And we may want to talk about that a little later.
Oh, yes.
But that's where we are.
And Mr. Norman Jackson, what are some of the things that you're seeing that has been hindering the Black vote, and some of the obstacles that we're having to overcome as it relates to the Black vote in our communities?
Well, I think some of the main problem is the communication, the education. I think the current leaders are not investing enough in the communities to educate the people on what's in their best interests. Mm-hmm. And so you have a lot of people just stay away and just stay home because they said, what's in it for them? You know, their vote doesn't count.
Wow.
So they have to spend more time with the grassroots on the ground.
Yes.
Right? Speaking to individuals, to communities, right? To tell them about what's important and how to improve their quality of life, what's in their best interest.
And so how important is the grassroots efforts to seeing the difference? Because some people would think that it's all about the money. Some people would think it's all about the notion of being on national platforms or sharing your thoughts on famous places or even celebrity pushings. But how important is that grassroots foundation to getting the vote and seeing changes that we desire?
You know, all elections are local.
Yes, sir.
And we don't do a good job of bringing the local people into the election process.
Wow.
People are working, they're struggling, they don't have time to follow politics day to day. They don't follow what's happening in the General Assembly day to day or county council or city council. So somebody has to push them and inform them and put the information out there. And that's where we are lacking. My phone is being blowed up right now. People saying, well, who do I vote for? I don't know these people. You know,
wow.
Why don't they know these people? Because somebody has not been sharing with them information. So at the last minute now, they're trying to find out who should I vote for, where do I vote, and all of that. But there's an answer to that also. But it might be a little late, but at least there's an answer to it. Get your sample ballot.
Sample ballot,
Sample ballot. Everything is on that sample ballot that you need to know. All the people that you can vote for.
Yes.
Where you vote. What time you vote.
Yes.
They're there. And you fill out that sample ballot and you take it into the polls with you.
Yes.
That way you don't get confused with all the stuff that's on the ballot box there. And you time. You think you're holding things up, want to get out of there. So get your sample ballot. It's very simple to do.
Yes. And see, I actually heard Cynthia Hardy's show On Point on the radio this past week. And you all were talking about the importance of the sample ballot.
Yeah.
Ms. Cynthia, I want you to share the importance of the responsibility of the media to help share some of the information that we're seeing from the candidates to empower our people to make educated votes.
It's really important. I think that all of the ways that we can to get that kind of vital information out is effective. You know, I agree with former County Councilman Norman Jackson as he talks about our responsibilities to educate people, and then as voters, our responsibilities to ourselves to be educated. So those of us who know where to go to get the information, just like Dr. Felder was telling us a minute ago at scvotes.gov, go get that sample ballot. Because here's the thing, even though there are places like this independent platform, my independent platform, and even our mainstream news media outlets do a good job. If people go to their websites, they basically have they have tons and tons, almost like they've got guides on there in terms of giving you synopsis of individual candidates and individual races. They've done a good job of doing that. So we need to seek out as much information as we can to be educated. Because the truth of the matter is right now, nobody's really helping us that much. You know what I mean? We see so many obstacles, you know, that people are putting in our way. And so we have to, you know, so I think that one of the good solutions is what Dr. Felder was talking about, get that sample ballot and talk to people about who's running, because there are a lot of races right now. And, you know, Jim is the one who would know about all of those, but there are a lot of races right now. You got county, you got constitutional officers, you got federal offices, you got local or municipal levels, and then you got drill on down into school boards.
School boards, yes.
It's a long slate. And so people need to be prepared for that, and at the same time know how important it is. Here's how important it is. Right now, for instance, once the pandemic happened, you know, we were real distraught about what was about to happen and how we were going to fare collectively as a community. The fact that the current president, the current administration injected resources into the economy, in my opinion, that saved a lot. Right now, on the other side, the Democratic Party is being blamed for the inflation that has resulted. Now, all of it didn't come from that. We can't forget that we were in a pandemic for about 3 years total. And we can't forget the fact that, you know, supply chains were an issue. Staffing was an issue. I mean, there were so many different things. And so I just think that we have to know that there's a lot on the ballot, and instances like that I mentioned, even with the debate that's going on right now about where the inflation is as the interest rates go up again today. I think that we have to familiarize ourselves with the issues that are out there so that we can make an informed decision, whether it's on the federal level like that or who is best to run our schools.
Akintunde, you are an incredible entertainer. You've seen, how much have you seen that entertainment has taken a hit as it relates to this pandemic? Because the pandemic, it not only affected schools, it not only affected how we view politics, but it also affected a lot of our ways of providing for our families. So in comedy, what have you seen?
Well, entertainment definitely took a hit. I mean, of course, myself, I primarily have made a living being a live touring artist. Of course, we couldn't tour, but what that forced us to do was to think creatively. So then we had to think digitally. We had to think about the internet, how to create these different platforms to be able to consistently distribute your message. Now we're doing virtual comedy events. We're doing metaverse, fully digital animated comedy events.
Wow.
And actually seeing great turnouts. And I think we have to take what we're doing in the entertainment space and these creative spaces and connect those dots to the political realm, to the community realm, and make sure that that messaging that is so critical lands and makes that point. And I think one of the great things, what you're doing here, John, this is a conversation it's a multi-generational conversation.
Come on.
It's a multifaceted conversation. It's a multimedia conversation, right? And I think we need to do more of that. Like get young people, get the young brothers who may look like maybe, hey, you probably don't understand understand
Yeah.
why your hair is purple and twisted this way and why you got all that jewelry on.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, we got to have those conversations so that they understand the perspective of Mr. Felder, Mr. Jackson, and understand the background, what Cynthia does, what John does. And I think if we can do that and explain the value of voting, explain the value of community organizing, explain the value of showing up, and vice versa on all levels, I think we could really take back, this voting cycle, some of these negative issues that are happening. Whether it's shootings, whether it's jobless, whether it's homeless, whether it's fatherlessness, I believe we can have more conversations like this.
It can actually bring change.
Yes, sir.
Incredible, incredible. So everybody, you have heard from multiple generations. You've heard stories of here and now and back then. A great time for us to know that we must use our voices to vote. I need you to find a way to get your sample ballots. Find a way. Could you tell us the website one more time for sample ballots?
scvotes.org. scvotes.org.
Yes, scvotes.org. You got to get there. Get your sample ballot so you can know who to vote for. And I want you to know that we are encouraging you all to vote, but listen, make educated decisions. Understand that these offices, that they have vigorous schedules and they have to find ways to do more than just be in boardrooms, but they have to be on the grounds, having interaction with the people. So as you select your candidates, make sure you select people who will greatly represent and share our hearts and our concerns in order for us to see those changes that we desire. You are the change that you want to see. There's so much more to come after this. We want to thank Akintunde. Thank you, sir. We want to thank Mr. Norman Jackson. We want to thank Mr. James Felder. And we want to thank Miss Cynthia Hardy for being on John Lakin and Friends. Thank you so much. There's so much more to come after this. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, John Lakin, and I wanted to take a moment to encourage you all to vote. November the 8th in Richland County is our time for us to vote. And I'm coming to you now to let you know that I am endorsing and supporting Hamilton Jacobs, not simply because he's my brother-in-law, but because Hamilton has committed to doing the work. He has been in the community. He opened and founded a foundation called the Bridge Over Foundation that has empowered our young people. We've seen incredible testimonials of the goodness that they have been doing in the community and around the greater Richland County area. So when you consider who to vote for in the Richland 1 school board seat at large, I want you to consider Hamilton Jacobs because he's a man of integrity, he's a man of character, and he's a man for the people. And I'm sure that he will represent us well. There has been a lot of things that have happened where we need to see some changes, and Hamilton Jacobs is the change that we need to see.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Zion Lakin. I just wanted to ask y'all to go subscribe to my Uncle John's YouTube channel, hit that notification bell so y'all can get notified whenever a video is posted. And also, make sure you visit his website at www.johnlakin.com. My name's Zion Lakin, and I'm here with John Lakin and Friends. Indeed.
Welcome back to John Lakin and Friends. Again, we are so honored to have had our special guest on today. We're about to get out of here, but before we do, I got a few people I've got to send some love to. Number one, Sister Ida Tucker and JP Tucker, we love you. My Aunt Willaine and Uncle Bully, sending love to you. I gotta wish a happy birthday to my nephew, Prince John Michael Jacobs. Happy birthday to you, and a happy birthday to my baby girl, Miss Riley. I thank you so much for being an incredible supporter of John Lakin and Friends. And to all of you that are out there surviving the struggle, remember God will get in it with you. Have an incredible Sunday.